Applause, that's nice. Okay, so I'd like to tell you about something that definitely happened, and then something that definitely didn't happen. Both of them are sort of hard to believe, although maybe not so hard to imagine. Due to the limits of my own memory and years of avoiding writing down the story, I'm unsure of exactly when this happened, so this is not reporting. Consider it an anecdote coupled with speculation and probably, honestly, some projection. This is about the night Sean Hannity definitely didn't kiss me. So, one evening probably between 2007 and 2009, a warm evening I'm pretty sure because I don't recall using the coat check, I was at Sidetrack, circulating like you do there. I was cruising, absolutely, probably with a vodka soda lemon in hand. I was almost certainly high, sorry mom, because smoking weed was my favorite way to deal with social anxiety. I don't know if it ever really helped. Being high then complicates my story now, obviously, because details get lost, sometimes immediately, like exactly when this happened. Even if I can narrow it down, the nice part of the year in Chicago, 2007, 2008, and 2009 were very different summers, politically. It makes a difference. Now, this night I had my eye on a hot little Latino bodybuilder. If you know me, this is not a surprise. But somebody else had his eye on me. This middle-aged guy, not unhandsome, nice smile, if a little skeptical of his surroundings, parked himself in my line of sight a couple of times. Nothing stalkerish, just, getting in position for a smile and a nod when he caught my eye. I was doing the same thing to the bodybuilder. And then I realized I was about to run into this middle-aged student, so I thought, hey, he could be nice. His haircut looks well tended to. I sort of like to touch a gray at the temples. Let's give this a try. So, as I recall, I started the small talk with, hey. Pretty amazing, right? Whatever pleasantries or flirting ensued, I don't remember. This guy had a pretty nice smile, but he seemed a little square. Anyway, I introduced myself first. Hi, I'm Pete. Nice to meet you, Pete. And what do you do? Straightforward, huh? What do you do has been my least favorite part of the pickup questionnaire for a long time. So I said probably what I normally say instead of right now I'm semi-unemployable due to lifelong major depression. I'm better now, thanks. Which is, generally I'm a copywriter, but at heart I'm an actor. Which is still true, but in 2007 and 2008, I wasn't auditioning. I didn't overcome my 12 years of audition phobia until 2009. I'm not sure how much I was writing then either, but it wasn't much. At heart, I'm an actor. That's interesting, Pete, because I'm in TV. Definitely a hint of a New York or Boston accent there. And I immediately assumed since he said in TV and he looked pretty corporate that he was probably a producer, maybe in sports or something. That's great, I said. Do you have a name? Well, Pete, he said with a gleam in his eye, my name is Sean. And it was the repulsive smirk on his face when he announced his name that I'll always remember. Like, I should already fucking know who he was, and it was just so amusing that I didn't. Nice to meet you, Sean, I said, but it wasn't. Even as I was shaking his hand, I was looking for an escape route. Bathroom, probably, I don't remember. I just know I moved on pretty quickly. And yes, I got that bodybuilder to talk to me and drink with me and eventually go home with me. And a few times I looked up from whatever he and I were laughing about to see Sean, smiling sort of quizzically as if to say, you could be getting this. But no, that wasn't what I wanted. Now, it wasn't until a few weeks later, maybe at the gym or maybe watching The Daily Show, that it occurred to me that this kind of handsome, graying, helmet-haired guy named Sean who was in TV might actually have been Sean Hannity. I mean, I didn't watch Fox News because I'm not a fucking idiot. Occasionally I saw the O'Reilly Factor when I got home to Kansas City because my dad was parked in front of Fox News for the last decade of his life. TV blasting because we hadn't transitioned him to wireless headphones yet. My exposure to Hannity would have been through Jon Stewart or the Colbert Report or maybe on that TV in front of the elliptical machines downstairs at Quads, the one that's a huge fucking pain to get up to and change the channel, so sometimes you were just stuck with right-wing propaganda. But I didn't know who these people were, these television personalities who looked like news anchors or reporters but were, in reality, entertainers. The idea that one of them would have turned up at one of the most popular gay bars in the country just never occurred to me. Sorry, Shep.
Yeah.
Why would Sean Hannity even have been in Chicago then, whenever exactly it was? Trying to answer that a few weeks after the event, I remember finding some suburban Illinois conservative cause celeb news story, high school football gang rape or something, that seemed plausible enough, but so much time has gone by now that I can't seem to find that story again to give me a time and a place where Sean Hannity would have been close enough to Chicago to go get a vodka slushie and pick up guys in front of Norbert's bar. Some of his reports on Hannity's America originated from this part of the country, but he never even left the studio for those. Maybe it was one of those awful freedom concerts he put on to raise money that hardly went to charity at all. I wish I knew. I wish I could pin down if I'd shaken the hand of Hannity and Combs era Sean in 2007 or before, or the Stop Obama Express Sean in 2008, or the solo Hannity of 2009 of birtherism and Why Do You Hate America? When I really should have known better. Politically, it matters. And surely there must be other television professionals named Sean with mild East Coast accents, right? It's a good Irish Catholic name, and there's a lot of work in TV, most of it behind the scenes. But that smirk was unmistakable. You've seen it, right? It makes you want to punch the fucking TV. It's like Sean Hannity is daring you to land a meat mitten on a smug fucking pie hole, and not in a sexy way. What if it wasn't him, but I was meant to think it was? We have to consider the mildly terrifying possibility that some guy out there is actually impersonating Sean Hannity in gay bars, and then he probably gets laid. Waking up in the morning, starfucker you are, and somehow realizing, probably by going through his wallet, that your conservative commentator trick was actually an imposter. Well, I would hope that would be the moment when you reevaluate your life plan. So, that was the night that Sean Hannity definitely didn't kiss me. And yet, given his heroic ability to host a show and speak clear English, even though Trump's balls haven't left his mouth in years, I have to wonder, what if? What if that smirk hadn't repelled me more than the intrigue of a man working in TV? Because how would you feel if you thought there was a possibility that by getting a guy laid, you could have prevented all this? See, in my experience, there are three kinds of married guys you pick up in a bar. The first kind reveals nothing. All you know about them is what you learn in the moment, however long it lasts, and then they're gone and they don't leave a number. The second kind reveals maybe too much, rushing towards some bid for authenticity or the relief of unburdening or whatever it is for that guy. That kind is at least worth listening to, I think, because that might be the guy that you inspire to come out noble, right? And yes, that will probably be a painful transformation, but is it better to stay in the closet, really? And the third kind, well, I think they just fucking lie. And not just little, full-on fantasy worlds. Why not? You're off at a gay bar living the real life you're not allowing yourself to have, so why not imagine the one you want? Here's what I'm guessing would have happened if I'd settled in with Sean, whoever he was, had a seat, had a chat, gotten in real close. I asked him about his job in TV, and he immediately demurs. Honestly, Pete, that's just something I say to sound sexy. But no, that's not me. I'm actually an oil man in North Dakota. Oil and natural gas. I mean, those guys on TV do seem to have it pretty great. But I'm a hell of a lot richer. An oil man? With that accent, Sean? Ha, I know. Everybody teases me about that. It was worse when I lived down in Texas. What do you say we get out of here? In the taxi. Anything you want to tell me about that ring? Not that you have to. Well, I wear that in memory of my Annabelle. She was swept overboard from her father's yacht in the Gulf of Mexico, Christmas Day, 1992. Such tortured memories. I was in the oil fields of Venezuela at the time. It's actually the first time I fell in love with a man. Maybe it was better that she never knew. You are so handsome right now. Kiss me. He asked for us to be dropped off in the parking garage. I'm a very private person. Whatever hotel this is, it's really nice. We kiss in the elevator. I slide a hand down the back of his khakis. Whoa there, buddy, no rear entry. We laugh. I know it's a lie. In the room, before we undress, he pours a Dewar's, which I pretend to like. What kind of oil business is there up there in North Dakota, I ask, unbuttoning my shirt. Eyeing me hungrily, he says, natural gas, actually. It's called fracking. He slides my shirt off somewhat roughly. We drill deep into the earth and pump the shale layer full of hot, pressurized fluid, fracturing the rock, releasing natural gas. It's the future of energy in America. He undoes my belt. Then we pump it out. But doesn't that have side effects? Little earthquakes, maybe, nothing serious. He grabs my cock. Do you like that? 2 Dewar's later, we're making out on the bed. Do you have a boyfriend up there? Don't you ever get lonely? Well, I have my horses. I won't lie, it does get lonely on that big ranch. But I work with such great people. I wish you could meet them. There's Gretchen. She's a spunky little gal. Sometimes they call her my work wife. And there's my assistant, Alan. I keep him on even though he's got a learning disability. There's Bill, who's kind of the rock star salesman in the office, and he puts up a front like he doesn't care about anybody's opinion, but he told me privately that what really drives him is my approval. Really touching. I think he just might have a crush on me. And we all work for Roger, who's just about the smartest, kindest man I've ever met. Let me suck that big dick. So, what's your work wife like? What was her name, Greta? Sean stops, turns cold. No, not Greta. Never Greta. Gretchen. Gretchen is a spitfire. Greta is a dry, rotten husk of a witch's cunt. Hey, I'm sorry, big boy. Tonight, it's just you and me. We're in the shower. It's amazing. Nearly the size of my whole bathroom, with an enormous rain head sprinkling our naked bodies with hot, expensive water. Do you always stay in places like this? I stayed at the Trump in New York. I met him. We had dinner. Donald Trump? That idiot from TV with the hair? He's a great man. He could be president someday. You're drunk, Sean. My finger slides into his pink butthole. And you're a very naughty boy. I'm not a boy, Sean. I'm the man who's going to show you what fracking... what fracking really means. I'm going to drill you deep and inject you with my hot, pressurized fluid and shatter your rock layer, and you will feel the earth move. His eyes are closed. He groans, bites his lip. More, he says. More fingers. I won't bore you with the rest. I just want to finish a point I started earlier. What if I'd gone home with Sean Hannity and he wasn't type 1 or type 3, but type 2? What if that had been the turning point in his life that sent him on the path of authenticity, not just personally, but professionally? How could Sean Hannity, as an out-gay man, devote the thousands of hours of TV time it took to build Donald Trump's credibility, if you can call it that? Would he have even been able to keep his job under Ailes? What would have happened? Well, I won't beat myself up too much. If it wasn't Sean Hannity hitting on me that night, it doesn't matter. If it was Sean Hannity, well, I can't imagine he gave up trying to get laid after I shoved it off. Somebody had sex with him back then, and we all know that it didn't change a goddamn thing. Because there are people who are so twisted by the great lies of their life that they will work unceasingly on behalf of the biggest, most charismatic frauds that they can find, displacing all desires and drives onto that idea, bending themselves into whatever shape serves for the cause, contorted like some higher dimensional pretzel. They do nothing to reconcile contradictions. They fervently assert that the contradictions do not, in fact, exist. They never have. Anything you think you see or remember is a lie, or an illusion, or a stone guy's foggy memory. And if you deny and deny and deny and invoke the name of God, then people will support you. Long enough anyway for you to get their money. And Sean Hannity, don't forget, is a rich, rich man.